Hello and welcome to the IFA 2013 for the very last time, well I should say last time for this UK team, and we're going to be showing you around in the next 40 minutes all of the great exhibition here at the Panasonic booth here at IFA. I say it's a booth, it's actually a huge hall. It's a great exhibition with lots of new products, and the great thing is you can see all of them as if you were here yourself. And the way you do that is you can look through this camera that I'm wearing. This is the Panasonic A100. And you will see what I see. I'll be your Infotar, as it were, and you can tell me where to go, what to do, and you can get the full IFA experience without leaving your the comfort of your desk or your home. So Neil, why don't you tell us how they're going to do that?
Okay, and Michael, there's two ways they can do it. They can set your Infotar a mission just below this screen. So you can type in exactly what you would like Mike to answer or what you would like Michael to go and show you. You can also speak to our expert backstage at #Panasonic IFA expert. So Michael, I think this being the final one, I think we can get straight into the questions, and the first question is from Patrick. Take a look around.
Well, thank you, Patrick. That's an open invitation if I ever saw one. So let's take a look around. We're walking into the main body of the hall. You can see the size and the scale of it. It extends right back into the far distance. And the area we're in right now is the TV area, or the Viera area. And lots of applications around our Viera TVs, the new 4K TV, which is incredibly exciting. Smart Viera, which you can see the stage there where we make presentations. Lots of things to do and see if you're coming down to IFA. Although we're finishing today, the exhibition is open until Wednesday, so anyone in Berlin or Germany coming down, all of this will be here for you when you come down. And we're now moving into the optical area. So this, we're talking about Lumix and Lumix G and HD camcorder. So that's cameras, camcorders, interchangeable lens products. A whole plethora of products out there, and some surprises as well hidden behind. You can probably see another stage with a curtain on it just over to the left hand side there. And over on my right is an area which we might talk a little bit about, but is something you perhaps don't expect from Panasonic, and this is what we call solutions business. So solutions for the home, for energy production, for companies, for security. And this is a big expanding area for Panasonic, and it's nice for us to be able to show this to consumers who perhaps don't associate Panasonic with anything much more than TVs. Now over here is something quite exciting. The president of Panasonic, President Suga, is going to be giving an interview here, or recording an interview at 3 o'clock. You'll be able to see that interview on YouTube later on, and maybe at 3:30 we'll take a little swing by and see if we can see any of it in action whilst he's here. So great opportunity to see the very top man in the whole of Panasonic worldwide. And now we find ourselves in our appliances area, starting with personal products, things like grooming, hair dryers, hair straighteners. You can see the young lady there having her hair straightened with the great new straightener that uses nano-E technology that manages to straighten hair without drying it out. We've got shavers for men, epilators, and then this is a brand new product area for us, espresso makers.
So Michael, sorry to jump in just now, but our next question as we're walking around, you might as well give us the answer to. How many new products have you introduced at the show?
Well, there are quite a few actually. It's unusual actually, Neil, because at IFA it's usually the existing products that we have taken forward for the Christmas period. But here we're actually showing some brand new products. So the espresso maker is one of them. The 4K is an extremely exciting new TV that we're showing. We've got a 4K tablet that we're showing here. We've got some new audio products which are very exciting. We've got some prototype products and some new hobs. We've got the induction hob here. So yeah, there's lots and lots of new products that we're showcasing here at IFA. And this is actually, we've reached the end of the hall, so it's taken us a little while because you appreciate the scale of this thing. And the last exhibit here is this grandstand here isn't to watch football or tennis, it's to watch top Japanese chefs cooking with Panasonic equipment and creating some real gourmet dinner, some real gourmet foods. And the ladies here creating bread with our bread maker. We've got our irons, our vacuum cleaners, our dryers, our washers, everything you could hope for, I think, there in Panasonic world.
Yes, so Michael, questions coming in thick and fast. And as you know, Michael, we've had a lot of interest in 4K. There's actually the next 4 questions are virtually exactly the same. So the first person to get his question in was Roger. But obviously the rest of you out there is going to get exactly the same answer. And they would love to see the new 4K TV, Michael.
Okay, so we're going to start moving a little bit faster because we want to get back down. Entschuldigen Sie bitte. Danke. We're going to go all the way down, back where we started, to the 4K area, and we're going to see a lot of exciting new products. Like I said, that 4K TV really is, I think, one of the stars of the show. You can see how crowded it is here at IFA. It's one of the great things about IFA is that it's a public show. It's open to everyone to come and see. A lot of these events we do are just for the trade, and people become quite cynical about them, whereas the public are always fascinated. They always bring a fresh perspective and fresh ideas. And as you can see, we're back in the TV area now, and in fact, we're walking into the world of Ultra HD. And what I want to show you is the very first thing that hits you when you enter the Panasonic stand, Vielen Dank. It's the 4K wall, and here it is. This wall, this bank of TVs are all Panasonic's brand new 4K WT600, the very latest, in fact only announced just a few days ago in 4K TV. So Panasonic's first ever 4K TV, and something we're very proud of. So hence this big display here. So what I think we should do is, I know there are so many questions about 4K, is perhaps take a dip into our 4K technical area and explain a few things.
Lead the way, Michael.
Let's do that. So first of all, let's get the fundamentals out of the way first of all. What is 4K? Well, it is 4 times the definition of high definition. So we know that high definition is 1920 by 1080. So one of these screens here is 1920 by 1080. And this screen here is 3840 by 2160. So that's 3840 by 2160. And as you can see, it's literally 4 times as many pixels. So the same number of pixels that are on 4 HD TV sets, we have on one 4K Ultra HD. And what that means is we're getting a phenomenal amount of detail. Even here, when I'm stood very close up, I'm literally arm's length from a 65-inch TV, and the detail is absolutely precise. I can see every little hair, every little leaf in this this jungle scene here. So it's bringing you a level of, and that's perhaps something we didn't want to see in such detail. So it's bringing you a level of detail and a level of clarity you just haven't seen from TV before. That's the fundamental of 4K.
So what other things have we got in the 4K area, Michael?
Well, what we've got and what we're highlighting is, okay, what we can highlight then is some of the things that Panasonic do uniquely. And what we brought uniquely to the package is, well, first of all, HDMI 2.0. We're the first 4K TV with that, and the first with a 60p input, or if you're in the UK, a 50p input. So what does that mean? Well, it means that fast moving action, like you can see here, is beautifully smooth, with none of that juddering effect, particularly when the camera swings around. Whereas conventional 4K TVs, I say conventional 4K TVs, I mean the few that have been announced in the last few weeks and months, they are all at the moment 25 or 30p input. So you can probably see on this sweeping camera shot, there's a little bit of sort of staccato effect, a little bit of jittering, and that's just because it's only a limited number of frames per second. And with Panasonic being the first to incorporate HDMI 2.0, we're also being able to incorporate 60p. You're getting a smoother picture from 4K, which is hugely important. Another thing we've got is 4K interactivity. So you've heard of Smart Viera. Perhaps if you can bring up one of the maps, that'll be a great demonstration. So our guy here is going to bring up one of the maps. So everything we do on the smart side is just like on the regular Smart Viera TVs, except it's in 4K. It's got special 4K processing, and when you bring up things like Google Maps or you bring up photos and a photo viewer, you're getting huge amounts of detail. And again, if I'm getting really close, you can see here, I don't know which exactly this town this is. Is this London? Ah, it's Paris. There we go. Eiffel Tower, there it is. So it's the River Seine down here. And you can see the Louvre Museum. You remember that pyramid in the beginning? So you can get a huge amount of detail, and it's got the processing designed for it as well, which is massively important. And the next screen along is showing something that's also very important, and that's 4K gaming or 4K PC inputs. This is the 4K version of Final Fantasy XIV, an incredibly popular gaming franchise. And again, I'm not even arm's length from the picture, and yet the level of detail is staggering. If you stood this close to a regular HD TV, you'd see blockiness and blurring. But here I can see every leaf, every wood panel, every swipe of the sword, and really get involved with my gaming. And what's made this possible is that Panasonic have introduced yet another world's first, and that's the first DisplayPort 1.2A connection to a 4K TV. Now that might sound very arcane, very specialist, but what it means is that current top-end PCs and top-end Macs can already output 4K, and you can output it to this TV with no fuss and no problems. And remember, it's in 60p, so it's going to be beautifully smooth. So we weren't the first to market with 4K, Neil, but I think you'll agree we brought in a lot of stuff which is absolutely revolutionary in the world of 4K.
Yes, definitely, Michael, and I think as we make our way out to this area, it'd only be fitting to show the car once more, including this is our last session. Yeah,
so we've seen a little bit of 4K gaming with the demo there of Final Fantasy, but here is perhaps some even more impressive 4K. This is a racing game, and you can just about see in the corner there the PC that it's running off, and this speed really is bringing home the benefits of 60p. And you see inside what we've got is, it is a car, but it's actually a customized controller really for, so this is where your PC controller sits, and the gentleman here is going to enjoy a nice game and try and beat the fastest lap, which is about 2 minutes 20. I think Adam said he'd done better than that, didn't he?
Adam lies, don't he? Right, Michael, again, a lot of 4K interest, but something I know that's quite close to your heart is plasma. And our next question is from Stefan.
Hello, Stefan.
And he'd like to know plasma.
Yes, well, Stefan is a man after my own heart, because we've shown you 4K, and it's actually a 4K LED that we've been showing you. And LED is a fantastic technology for a number of reasons, because of the amount of pixels you can have, because of the brightness, because of the energy efficiency, because of the slimness and the design. But for me, when it comes to the richness of the colors, the deepness of the blacks, when it comes to the absolute clarity of motion, it's plasma that wins the day, because plasma gives you those clean blacks and those rich, deep colors. And you can see here, this is our ZT top of the range, our ZT60, and this really is what we call a reference level TV. It's got a special panel that's only made from one sheet of glass. That's very hard to do with plasma TVs. and it means that there are very few reflections, and when you set it up in a home cinema style environment, you're getting that absolute deep involving picture. But of course we make a whole range of plasmas. All these black frame TVs you can see here, all plasma TVs. And the great thing about Panasonic, if I come to the end here and perhaps show you, disappearing off into the distance, you've got plasma TVs, LED TVs, 4K TVs, every type of TV you could want from one manufacturer.
Okay, brilliant. Your next mission, Michael, is from Matthew.
Hi, Matthew.
My mission is to play with as many tech items as possible.
Tech items, so what do you think we should try?
Well, I think, Michael, we've got a lovely section over here that kind of shows some of the Viera Remote 2.0, some of the home screens, some of the unique features that we have this year.
Okay, why not? So let's show you something over here. First of all, we've just been talking about plasma. Please don't put any controversial words in Angela Merkel's mouth. I mean, this isn't the time for that. So we've got here our plasma. One thing you can do with the plasmas is that you can write on the screen, believe it or not. We've got a touch pen. All those plasmas you just saw have that, and you can customize photos and take them and bring them back onto your tablet. So that's one thing you can do. Let's have a look at some other things you can do. Around the corner here we've got demonstration of speaking to the TV. In fact, I'll come back to these because they're a little bit busy right now, and show you some of the great tech we've got for My Home Screen. Now, some of you might be familiar with My Home Screen, some of you might even have My Home Screen on your current set. And what My Home Screen is all about is customizing your TV picture. So it's not just a TV, it's your TV, your favorite websites, your favorite apps, all around there. And this content I'm looking at here, you might be thinking, I've not seen this before on My Home Screen. And that's because it's a new thing called Home Screen Collections. And Home Screen Collections will be available to download in the next few months. And what they are pre-made home screens, like YouTube here with all the YouTube content, like Eurosport. If I pop around the corner here, we've got home screen collections for gaming, for the Olympics, for FC Barcelona. Panasonic are now a sponsor of Barcelona, and there'll be more and more of these available throughout the coming months. And maybe if I can just ask the young lady, can I use this for 1 second? I'll show you one of my favorite demonstrations, which is controlling the TV using the voice command. So I just press the voice button and say, for instance, is this one online? Will it go onto the internet? Yeah, it's live? Great. So let's go search London map. So it's going to search for London map. Ah, we're in German. Yeah. Okay, I need to go over to the other one that's in English. Let me have a look. This gentleman's just using it right now. Right,
we'll come back to that, Michael. What other things have we got in this area?
Well, what we've got is is our new Viera Remote application, and this gentleman here is just using it. I'll just look over his shoulder, and what you can do is download an app to either your tablet or your smartphone and control the TV using that app. So, for instance, the gentleman's just hit the web browser on there, and it brings up the web browser on the screen there. So a fabulous way of controlling your TV, and he's actually gone to another application we can do here. So he's going to pick a photo and swipe it up to the TV, and that picture is now full screen. And so there's actually loads of things you can do with this application. It's a free application. I'll just show you a couple of them a bit closer. If I go to the main sort of menu here and bring up, you can see we've got pad control, we've got regular remote control, we've got a keyboard on there, we've got a gamepad, so if you're playing any of the games you can turn your iPad into a gamepad. Well, you can even calibrate the TV. So if you're a professional calibrator, a home cinema enthusiast, you can adjust the gamma, the contrast, the brightness, the black level, all kinds of things. So a really clever app, and it's free to download for all Android and iOS products.
Okay, brilliant, Michael. Right, next question's already here, and this is from Ben. What is OLED?
What is OLED? So yes, it's a good question. We've had LED, we've had plasma, and now the new technology that people are starting to talk about is OLED. And OLED's a strange one because at the moment it's very specialist, it's very high-end, and actually quite expensive. So Panasonic are working on OLED, but what we want to do differently is create an OLED which is affordable, which is a viable solution, which is an everyday TV product. So, excuse me please, just one moment, excuse me, can I just get through there? Thank you, that's great. So what you can see in front of you now is a whole range of new Panasonic OLED TVs. These are prototypes, so they're not available to buy yet, but what they're showcasing is, well, first of all, OLED, which is a great technology. If you don't know what it is, it means organic LED, and it has the best properties of both plasma and LED. So on LED you have great resolution, you have great brightness, you have very good energy consumption, they're very slim, and that's true of OLED. And then on plasma you have very rich colors, deep contrast and smooth movement, and that's true of OLED as well. So you can see why we want it. And what Panasonic are doing differently is a new method of production of OLED, a thing called RGB printing. And if we can bring this to mass market, what it promises is that it will make an OLED TV affordable for lots of people rather than just being a plaything for a couple of very rich people, which is very much the theme of this show. It's our new corporate slogan is a better life for a better world, and I think that fits into that idea.
Okay, Michael, next mission. What soundbars does Panasonic offer?
Soundbars, let's have a look. We haven't got every single soundbar here, but what I think what we've got is some excellent highlights. And our gentleman earlier on who was asking what are the new products, well, we're going to show him a new product now. This one isn't new, this is existing, but it's a really neat little solution. This is just a soundbar on its own, no subwoofer required with this one because it's all built in. So this is a really popular item. I know in the UK it sells particularly well. And if you're looking for something a bit more premium, we have this beautiful brushed aluminium finish, and I don't know if it comes out on the internet, but that's actually a speaker grill. On the internet it might just look like it's all just one surface, and that's because they have this very micro fine mesh which was developed exclusively in Japan. And to get you that big home cinema sound from this very sleek looking object, you have a subwoofer. And of course, with the subwoofer, people always worry, oh, I've got to trail the cables all around the room. Actually, this one is wireless, so you can put it anywhere you want, hide it behind the back of the sofa. It will create all the rumbling and bass sounds, whereas this creates your directional sound. Now, I'll just step back a second because they're demonstrating a really big sounding new device, which I'm going to come in and closer and show you in a second. And that's a new thing called a speaker board. And a speaker board is really a new concept. It's not a sound board, and it's not a conventional speaker. It's actually, if I come round and show you a bit there, it's actually one of these. So from the front, it looks like a sound bar, but as you can see, it's actually about the depth of a Blu-ray player or a DVD player. And what that means is that you've got the slimness and looks of a sound bar, but with a big subwoofer here, and you can probably hear it's giving a heck of a sound. Even in this huge open environment, it's really competing for people's attention. And you can also see on this one, it's got a TV actually sitting on top of it, and it's designed for TVs, Neil, up to 42 inches. This is the brand new, I forget the model number on it. It's HT80, and it'll be available across Europe in the next month.
Okay, good question from Alan. Our next mission is from Finn. What recorders do you have at the show?
Recorders, well, they are all the way over here. directly behind us. In fact, there's one just here that's free, so I'm going to grab this one. Panasonic do a whole range of recorders. Some of them are just hard drive, so they've probably got 2 tuners in, depending where you are in the world. Some of them are a hard drive with a Blu-ray player, so this one has got a Blu-ray player. And some of them are hard drive with a Blu-ray player and recorder. And that's the model we're showing here. This is actually a German model called a BST835. And what that lets you do is, as well as having a terabyte worth of recording in the hard drive at the back, you can make high definition copies onto a Blu-ray disc. So you're getting about 700 hours of HD on there, and then if you want to give copies to your friends or archive them, you can burn them down onto Blu-ray. So this really does everything. And what we're showing here with the iPad is another app. This is called the Remote Recording app. And again, check where you are in the world, because it does change, but I know it's available in the UK, certainly available here in Germany, as we can see. And it's a way of flipping through the TV guide and setting your recorder. So I can set it to record The Mentalist. Actually, I'm going to see if my favourite program's on here. No, let's go with what I originally thought. So it's going to set the recorder using the tablet rather than the remote. And you're probably thinking, well, that's nice, but it's a bit extravagant seeing that the recorder is right here. The brilliant thing about this app is the word remote. It doesn't just work in the home, it works wherever you are in the world. Once you link it together, I can be here in Berlin, set a recording for The Mentalist, it will send that information over to my Blu-ray recorder back in the UK, and then it will record it. So this app is called Remote Recording, and it's available now. Like I say, check your area, but it's certainly available in the UK and certainly available here in Germany.
Yes, that's definitely, it's called the Digger Player, and there's also other functions available. Multi-room streaming and mirrorcast, again, depending on what country you live in. Right, Michael, next mission is from Chris. He would like you to find the best speaker system for his ears.
Well, what we've got is some brand new speaker systems. Well, let me give you a quick overview, actually, and was it Chris?
Chris?
Yeah, Chris, you can decide. So I'm going to actually just hop into this little room here, because we've got actually an award-winning micro system. You won't be able to appreciate the sound quality over the internet, but this micro system, let me show you it closer up. It's this fella here. Don't mind me, carry on. It's called the PMX9. And this is the IFA Compact Hi-Fi of the Year. So if Chris is looking for something that sounds easy on the ear, this is a compact system, all in one, iPod, dock, CD, wireless streaming, with beautiful high-quality speakers that wins superb awards for its pure sound quality. That's why we had that little room I just showed you over there, because we want to shut people off and be able to let them know exactly how good it sounds. However, maybe Chris has got something else in mind. We have options like this, where you can have just a speaker and then stream from your iPad or your Android phone. We've got options like this, which is almost a docking station for a tablet that connects wirelessly and using NFC. So the way to connect these two together is just to put it on there and it will connect straight away. And they offer a much bigger sound than the small thin speakers you get in a tablet. And then over here, some brand new products. Hi girls. The NA10 and NA30. NA10 is this lovely retro designed, very stylish portable speaker. So this is ideal if you're out for the day in the country or at the beach or on holiday. You take this with you and set it up, and you get a little portable speaker like so, and you can again stream music from your phone, from your tablet. There's two models, one slightly smaller, one slightly bigger with a bigger bass sound. Now, I've said several times streaming music, And what Panasonic do is make it very easy to stream music, because we've got our own music streaming app, which I can just show you here. It's actually streaming music at the moment. And what this does is it will identify all the music that's on your tablet or your phone, and identify even better how it's going to stream. And by that I mean it will decide whether it's going to be on AirPlay, on Bluetooth, or on DLNA. Whatever your device can handle, it will find a route to get there. So all you have to do is pick the song and play it.
You've talked a lot about apps today, Michael. Where do we find them and how much they cost?
They're all on either Google Play or iTunes, and they cost nothing. So
Sounds
we've
good
talked
to me.
today about the remote recording app for Blu-ray. We've talked about Viera Remote 2.0, which was controlling the TVs, and we've talked about the remote play app. There's actually apps also for Lumix as well. So search Panasonic Corporation on either Google Play or on iTunes, and you'll find all the official apps Panasonic produce.
Okay, Michael, your next mission is from Marianne. What fun things can you do with a 4K tablet?
4K tablet, well, we've not really shown you the 4K tablet yet, and it's got a serious side. It's definitely a professional product, but it's also, we've discovered in the last few days, a lot of fun. Actually, do you know what we're going to do? We are going to go to the 4K tablet, but on the way, I'm just going to swing by that interview with President Suga that we promised you earlier on, and you can maybe just see him for yourself. So while we're going there, I'll explain a little bit about the 4K tablet, because it is brand new. The 4K tablet is, as it suggests, a tablet with a 4K resolution, so a higher resolution than any tablet ever made before. And to incorporate this, it's actually 20-inch screen, which is obviously much smaller than the TVs we've been showing you, but is a substantial size screen. And what this means is that it can be used for applications beyond just the usual things you do with your tablet. So here we go. As promised, a little look at President Suga being interviewed, and a little bit of trivia for you out there. The man interviewing him is actually my boss, so I won't catch his eye line because I'm sure he'll be nervous. But yes, President Suga is coming down here to IFA to talk about the great new products we have and to really launch this IFA show with a bang. But let's get back to 4K, because I know we're running out of time a little bit, but I want to show you this 4K tablet before we go. Entschuldigung bitte, danke, vielen Dank. Es tut mir leid, danke.
The wonderful world of being in an Infotar, Mike.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you see that? That was the fastest I've moved in 30 years. So we're going to go down to 4K tablets. So it's ideal, as I was saying, for photographers, for architects, for maybe museums, but we've got some fun applications. So earlier today, we took a few photos of Neil, who you may have seen alongside me, and very skillfully handling the questions. And what we're going to do is use the capability of the 4K tablet to see what it would look like with a makeover. So let's take a look. So earlier today we took a photo of my friend here, and perhaps you can show the people at home. So this is the 4K tablet, and we're going to take a photo of Neil using a nice looks like a GF6S, so a beautiful system camera. And now we're going to bring it up on the tablet. Oh, any of those, I think. Yeah, nice. And now we can see what Neil would look like with a lighter complexion, perhaps a bit of makeup, I think, maybe. Blush, definitely blush. Oh yes, rosy cheeks, very nice. Yes. Okay, I think I'm getting too into it. Oh, now we go, here we go. Now, obviously we're messing around with this, and this is a very fun application, but I think if we had a nice lady here this would be a great way for her to
What are you trying to say, Michael?
Different looks.
Okay, Michael, thanks for that. Really appreciate it. Not the first time this week I've been stitched up. The next question and the next mission is already in.
Yep.
And it's from someone called Caleb Manning.
Caleb Manning.
And the mission is, what content can I swipe to my TV?
What content can you swipe to your TV? Well, we've already seen swiping of photos. You can actually swipe video, you can swipe music, and now you can swipe 4K, because we're in the world of 4K TV. So when we talk about a 4K TV, it's actually 8 million pixels. So you think of a still image, and on a normal TV there are only 2 million pixels. So that's quite a low resolution picture. And so now with 4K swipe and share, you can swipe up, and there's the new logo, 4K swipe and share. You can swipe up a 4K picture. But we'll go back over to our interactive area and show a few things in action. I think we saw before swiping a photo. Maybe we can swipe a video. Let's have a look. Let's see what videos we've got on here, and we'll swipe something up. Oh, we've got 1080p videos, so high definition videos. Let's start this one playing. So some fast moving action, and then swipe it up. And you can see with very little lag, we go from the tablet up to the big screen, and you can see some HD motor racing playing from a small tablet for everyone to enjoy on a 50-inch screen. And please, Caleb asked that question because I happen to know Caleb, and I know he's doing a hell of a job today. So hello to the people in Bracknell.
Okay, brilliant, Michael. Well, Michael, your final mission of your Infotar session is from Michelle. What is the difference between refresh rate and processing rate on a TV? Okay, we're going out with a bang because this is a technical question. Michelle, I'll go into a little bit of detail, but if we went into huge amounts of detail, we might lose half of our audience. But let me just show you. Let's use the 4K TV as an example. It has 2000 Hertz backlight scanning. But then I also said earlier on, we were the first to have 60 frames per second. And if I go around to the 60 frames a second display, you'll remember what I was talking about. Now, one of those figures is the number of frames per second, so the refresh rate, if you like, and another one is the processing rate. And sometimes people think, well, actually it's only 60 frames a second, and so when they give this figure of 2000 Hertz or 3000 Hertz, it must be somehow made up. But actually no, because what it's doing is that 2000 times a second or 2600 times a second, it's addressing the picture in order to make the motion smoother. Now, it is true that if you add in more frames, you make the motion smoother, but that's not the only way. You can make the motion smoother by hiding some of the blurry bits, by making parts of the screen go dimmer at different points, by changing the scanning of the backlight. So there are all kinds of very clever ways that we can make motion smoother. And so the difference between the refresh rate figure and the processing figure of 2000 Hertz is actually, one is showing the number of frames per second, the other is giving you a wider overview of what the picture is going to look like for fast moving action. A great question and quite a technical one to finish with. And who the heck are these people? Well, it looks like the rest of our Infotars have joined us, and I think this is probably a fitting time for us all to get nice and close together. It's the first time we've all been on camera. Yeah, worlds colliding here. Guys, this has been the very first year of Panasonic Infotars at IFA. Long may it continue. I know Tony, Adam and Michael have thoroughly enjoyed it. The last thing for me to say is obviously goodbye, but before that I would like to thank Adam, Tony and Michael for being my Infotars and your Infotars. So bye from me. Thanks everyone. Thank you guys. Anyone wants a blue t-shirt, come see me.